I think it's going to be a fun, cool episode. We're going to be playing with the 3v3, myself, FP, and Bob against, and none other than, I think we're going to have to give these gentlemen some strokes because I think we're going to wax that.
Oh, man.
Wow. Here's what I've been thinking about. Obviously, this is where my head's going to go. What would you say the line is that I wake up Saturday morning in Brooklyn?
FP's going to be at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Another edition here, the Bob Does Sports podcast. You got Nick Stubbe, you got Joey D, you got the big ticket, and of course, let's give a warm round of applause for Benjamin Schicker, ladies and gentlemen, in the house here as well. Something that I do want to address that was heavy in the comments last week, totally just as well. People were busting our balls for, this big thing of us going to Jupiter, everybody being together. And then sure enough, we hit them with a Zoom podcast. They're right. They're 100% light. It's a hand-up accountability there. We are trying to get a studio going. FP right now is in Virginia, so that's why we're getting another Zoom podcast here. But just nothing to say there. Just spot on,
Sometimes you got to wear it on the chin, man.
Yeah.
100% could have been together last week. And in fact, we were planning to be together last week. For whatever reason, it's just we couldn't congregate.
Life comes at you fast.
We're all within. The three of us are within a mile. The rest of the two are within 5, and we just couldn't get ourselves together. Just couldn't do it.
Yo, have any of you guys dropped jet off at any point since being in Jupiter?
Yeah,
feels like that's all.
Is it not
really
back in the cut, dude?
Yeah.
I heard he's in the nicest gated community going in South Florida.
It's
nice.
like they are guarding. You would think fucking it is to get in. When you get into this gate, you have a 20-minute drive to get down. Nobody. Postmates drivers are fucked. They're really. It's
Do you have to give an
crazy.
ID when you go into the gate?
No, you gotta call. You gotta press a number.
So what you got to do
my
is, I've
God.
dropped this guy off a ton of times by now. I hit that number every single time, and every single time he knows I'm coming. And he picks up the phone to let me in, and he goes, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's me. Can I get in?" And he's like,
True,
"Okay."
dude.
Yeah, it is. It's an uninviting.
I usually give him a pop. I usually welcome you with a nice pop.
It's
or a
like
nice, tick.
It's like when Cutsy. It's like when Cutsy rings my doorbell and yells Bob at the same time.
Those ring cams, I don't understand those things. They freak me out.
He goes,
I don't either.
Bob? Bob?
Because I ring the doorbell and all of a sudden there's talking through the door. And so I don't, like the first couple times I didn't know if he's like there, like being a jackass talking to me through the door, or then finally I realized he's talking through the device, which is bizarre to me.
While we're in the talks of dropping people off, I would like to just talk about the stunt that Poppy pulled on me the other day. You haven't heard this, Joey D. This fucking
What did you
guy,
do now,
dude.
Pop?
This fucking guy. The nerve of this fucking guy. We're in New York, and while we're at the airport, he's like, Bob, do you need me to drop you off?
Oh, I heard that. I thought that was very nice.
I did too. I was
Yeah,
like,
what?
man, I was like, yeah, you really don't mind? He's like, not at all. He's like, I'll drop you off. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, that's really nice, Pop.
Very kind gesture.
Yeah, we get to the airport. He parked at the airport. So when we go over to this car, the second we get into the car, he's like, Bob, do you think I could get that credit card, the company card? And I'm like, yo, this fucking guy was, because even when he asked me, I was like, man, that was so nice of him. He asked, so not to say that he wouldn't have dropped me off, but he was so eager to ask so that he could get the card. I'm like, you're such a
I tell you
piece
what,
of
he could
shit.
use the card for is to buy some better Wi-Fi over there. This guy looks brainy as all hell.
Man.
No.
And he's not wrong, Pop.
I mean, this guy looks like an anime character right now. He
that
looks
goddamn
like,
Earthlink, man. Am I slow too?
Yeah, a little bit. You should have used AT&T ticket. You overthought it.
Well, they recommended me Earthlink, and anyway, that's a different story. But when going back to Bob real quick, I offered him to take him home, and I thought I was taking him to his home, which is only 5 minutes away from Jet, I think, or like maybe 6. So I was like, that's great. I can do that. And then when he did say, I'm going to my parents' place, I was like, that's a little bit further than I'd like, but if I get that card, it's all worth it. And it worked out. It
Oh
worked out.
my!
Yeah.
You
I
were
would have gone home with Joe. I just would have gone home with Joey D because he would be right by me.
Oh,
I would have
you
Nicole.
knew-
I actually didn't even think about
Yeah.
having Nicole drop you off because Ticket said he was going to drive you. I would have dropped you off willingly.
in truth,
Pop
I
knew
had
exactly
no
what
problem
he
with
was
it.
doing.
No,
I'm
that's
on
not
Team
true.
Pop. Pop was gonna get it. You were going to get it reimbursed anyways.
Yeah,
What does
it's
it matter
true.
if you get it reimbursed in a month or on the card?
But
On,
you
on the
could.
day of- I don't
Yeah.
think he took what?
If you don't think
I don't
that
think he
he
did. I
had
don't.
that, he'll tell you right now, Pop. Was that not in
I don't
mind when
think
you
so.
asked to
It
drop
might have been
me
in
off?
mind. It might have been in
Yeah.
mind.
All right, there you go. So
That's a
And
handout.
I'm surprised. I really thought it was a kindness out of your heart.
No,
type
it was. It
situation.
started that way. I asked him before I had it in mind, and then as soon as I asked him and he said yes, I was like, that's kind of a win. I guess I'm going to get the card too, and that's what happened.
Jet, do you have any? What's the update on the couch? Do you have any inclination to
I
get?
ordered
Where?
it. It's coming. I ordered it.
Yeah.
Do you have a
ordered it.
bed?
I ordered the TV. I got my bed's good. I ordered everything. By the time I come back, I'm going to New York this weekend. By the time I come back, I'm good.
Can you give us a tour? Can we
No,
see what you got going on
absolutely
over there?
No.
Have
Come back with a leave.
you been like laying on like a sleeping
No, my bedroom's
bed
good.
or sleeping
My bedroom's
sleeping
good.
bag?
My bedroom's
Okay.
good. This place is a lot better than
Totally.
my place in LA.
Totally.
It's
I'm
got to
pretty
be. If
happy
you have guests, they're going to be expecting such big things once they go through that gated community to only find out you don't have a couch. It's going to be a very big
Bedroom.
disappointment.
They can show up in a week. Yeah, it is. It is. Listen, it is a long drive. I did discover that if you go through the left gate instead of the right gate, it's shorter and it's much faster to get to the spot. Yet I still tell everybody to go through the right gate. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Bob, I have a question for you.
the
What's the over under on how many more weeks or episodes that mirror is going to still be in that box behind you?
This was supposed to be a studio, and then we realized we really couldn't fit a studio in here. That's why we've been getting a whole lot of Zoom podcasts, and that doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. But it'll be a bit. It'll definitely be a bit. Yeah,
will
fellas.
say-
New York. We had a nice little time in New York. Breezy Lounge was absolutely popping. The spring collection out now, which was a huge success. So did just want to take the time to thank everybody that supported. That was pretty cool to see everything coming in. And I hope to see more and more Breezys in the wild as well.
I definitely hope so too. I think that I haven't been, with Breezy as long as you guys are, but to see the the transition from where I first started and to see like some of the polos and some of the stuff that we are coming out with now. Listen, man, it's some nice stuff, dude. Between the hoodies, I'd like to see more Q-zips, but the polos, FP's polo is pretty fun, and there's a bunch of them in there that are super stylish and cool. And I think it's really cool to see that we have our hands on stuff, and plus being able to design our own things and stuff. It's fun, man. It's really cool to see how well it's been received. So I've enjoyed it a lot, and to see people, be excited about it definitely goes a long way for sure too.
Spring is here, and the boys over at Breezy Golf, myself, Fat Perez, Joey D, we got a brand new spring collection for you that we're fired up about. New designs, new polos, new sweatshirts. We got everything for you. You know the drill. BreezyGolf.com. Golf's North Star. We'll see you there. Yeah. No question about it. I will say, we talked about between the drop, the Jupiter move, and everything coming in. I think we're finally at a point now where we're all really settled in and in a really good spot. I even got to play 10, 11 holes with Yaman yesterday and seeing
I have
Yaman.
Tick coming over for dinner tonight.
There you go.
That's right.
Take a little load off, and it was nice to see Yams enjoying himself out there yesterday.
Jupiter Country Club is my home course now. It's an easy
You shot
course.
a 68, no?
I shot a 68. We played 6 holes, I think I play my best at Jupiter Country Club. If you play at Sunset at JCC, also
It's nice.
the Jewish Community Center or Jupiter Country Club, you're bound to enjoy yourself and have a good time. There's also a JCC. I don't know if you've noticed that, Pete, because you would have told me. There's one right next to your place.
That's right.
Yeah,
There is.
there's some. I might have to swing by and check out what they're teaching the kids in there.
Get a little schwitz.
Yeah, maybe.
Epi, how long is that? Your Virginia to Jupiter starting tomorrow. How long is that trip?
It's 12 and a half on paper. We'll see if we can tighten that up a little bit with some efficient driving.
What's the
there will
goal?
be-
Like 2 days?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do like nine plus tomorrow, and then the rest on Friday. Since we're filming in the afternoon, I need to get down to my place. I really wish I had
man.
clubs with me, because then I could just go straight to the course. And but I don't. My clubs are at my place, which is probably going to cost me about an hour and a half round trip. So that's tough. But I think I'm going to essentially get to like Jacksonville tomorrow. Or
Bob,
maybe
are we allowed to announce what we're doing on Friday?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be a fun, cool episode. We're going to be playing with the Nelk boys, a 3v3, myself, FP, and Bob against Kyle, Salim, and none other than Bob Menery.
To be determined, by the way, on
Oh,
Menery.
well, then, I mean, you never
Always
know. You
is.
never really know what you're getting.
Always
You
is.
never know. I do say this. I think we're going to have to give these gentlemen some strokes because I think we're going to wax that ass.
Oh man, dude, that's
Joey's
first
a
off-
confident golfer right now.
Whoa!
I feel like we've been playing good, dude. I watched the episode we did with Josh and James and those. We were playing collectively good golf. I just saying I don't know what Kyle shoots or what his handicap is. I know Salim looks like a pretty solid golfer, and I actually think Bob, if he plays, is actually quite good.
Bob.
Yeah. From what I've heard, he looks like he's a solid golfer. So, but I do think it's going to be cool. The crossover, those guys following is pretty wild. Just like the amount of people that they have an outreach to. So, it would be kind of cool to see if we can, kind of interconnect and get some people, some new eyeballs on the Bob Does Sports stuff.
We filmed with Salim. At least Bob did. I don't think you two were there in LA. It was Garrett, Grant, Bob, and Salim. Bob got shit on by a bird.
Oh yeah, at Pelican, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pelican.
Bob
He actually got shit on by a pelican.
Yes.
Yeah. And Salim like showed up and he's like, first of all, he's like, I'm 20 years old. And I was like, no, you're not. And then he said that he had just started playing golf and he was unbelievable for like a guy who had been playing for like 2 months. So I'm sure he's a lot better even now. And then we went to Mastro's and we banged ourselves. That night.
Yeah, you had to drive me home that night, Jeff.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Drove
like that.
from Newport. Yeah.
Bobby Bang job.
Things
Yeah.
got out of control or what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's what I've been thinking about, and obviously this is where my head's going to go. We're playing golf with them on Friday.
Right. Post.
In the afternoon.
Yeah. Look,
Could this end up going somewhere? Like,
I don't see why not. I mean, we haven't had, since being here, we haven't all had like a night out. Like, I don't see why that wouldn't be, like FP said, Friday night. I mean, that would be the time to do it.
I mean, I know with the, like, obviously, I went out to Square Grouper the other night and it was crazy the support we have down there.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you didn't hear this yet?
When did you go to the group?
Oh,
Come to the group?
Hashtag group life.
Oh my God.
So it was cool to see, like, there's a lot of people there. Obviously it's very golf centric. So, I met a lot of people. It was really cool to see. Those guys, I feel like they can't just go to a bar. Like,
no, I don't think
they can't just show up at Square Grouper and like hang at the fucking bar. Like they have to, when they do stuff, they have to do it on like a different level. And what I'm getting at is, what would you say the line is that I wake up Saturday morning in Brickell?
Yeah.
Plus 225.
Yeah, a lot better. I think a lot better than it should be.
FP's gonna be at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel.
Here's what I know. I have to drive over to Naples on Saturday morning. I'm playing golf with my dad Saturday and Sunday on the Gulf Coast. And Miami's kind of on, like, you have to kind of go down there to get over. So I'm already starting excuses for a question that I haven't even been asked yet and don't even know if I'm going to be asked. But if there's any inkling of, like, you guys should come down to Miami and party tonight.
Oh, I'm not going to Miami. Miami? That's like 2 hours away.
You
I
know,
am.
the
You've
thing
got
is,
so many
on my
plans, by
way.
the way, FP. You
No
have
way.
so.
It'd be irresponsible for me not to go.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you represent the group well, I'm sure. Watch FP end up on like a party limo, like a party bus to Miami.
that's what's the best part about like when FP goes rogue and like goes on like a night out, especially if it's like a waste management weekend or something. The next day, like hearing where he ended up, and it's always through like other people, and then like 6 months down the road, something will come up and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, like I know him very well," or "Oh yeah, I went there," and he'd be like, "It was that weekend at Scottsdale." You'll hear throughout the time him referencing that, and you find out more and more stuff.
I can get like a week's worth of activities into like a night.
Can't say no.
And I'm not, and Bob, as you know, I'm not afraid to have a bad time.
No.
I
No, the
just big
Scottsdale
yes guy.
stories.
I'll end up in situations that really suck for the potential for them not to, and I'll get out of them and I'll go somewhere else. I just stay moving.
Yeah. I mean, look, there is benefits to it. I am afraid to have a bad time. I am afraid to pull the trigger. I really
You're afraid
am.
to have a good time.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, I'm just afraid to have a good time.
I am. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I like having a good time, but sometimes when you're having a good time, you're like, what's on the other end of this? Like, when does this start
Yeah.
going
I
sideways?
Can't
gotta
think
tip
that
my
way.
cap to
I can't.
Yaman though. I gotta tip my cap to Yaman when he's come out the last several times. He's committed, man. He's all in to the point like he doesn't hold back at all. So like I almost would prefer like a minimum like quality over quantity kind of
Sure.
Yaman, where he's not ready to kill somebody because we're going out, but he's like all in, like ready to get after it with the boys, and he's shown commitments to doing that the last several times he's come out. Maybe a little too much, to be
I'd
honest.
be down. I'd be down for I'd be down for the grouper. Like I'm down to go to the grouper with the boys very soon. I am going out of town Saturday through Monday, but I'm down to go to the group. With
Where
the
are
boys.
you going?
Hey, what are you doing?
Going to New York.
This guy, man. This
Back
guy
to
is
New
like
York.
By the
New
way,
York
I
bound,
have
man.
about 5 New York trips this summer.
Oh my god.
All
He's
of
got
those
a wet-
shit.
Dude,
Everybody I know is getting married this summer. Everybody
Couple
else
things.
Stinks.
Those shickers are just looking to shick. That's all they're looking to do.
Eddie Schicker and the Shickers, and I hope they're watching this.
Oh,
Tick,
they'll see
you
it.
really got to soak that in with them. They are a fucking blast, and we call them Benny Schicker and the Shickers for those who don't know because they all like worship the jet, and they're all like little minions of the jet. And
Nice
man,
guys too.
they are such they're ball busters. I mean, they're really really ball busters and just degenerate gamblers too, which I may add.
Asher Schwartz ain't nobody's minion, by the way. Asher Schwartz does his own goddamn thing. Okay? That guy ain't fucking minioning for anyone.
Yeah, he was like doing a big thing, like saying, "Hey, Bob, like take a business card." Like he was kind of like flexing in front of everybody. He comes to me like 2 minutes later. He's like, "Bob, do you think I can get that business card back?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got you, dude."
Dude,
I'm surprised Poppy had anything left on it when he took it.
Oh yeah, I kept it.
It was actually one of the hot, like seeing like my two like closest groups of friends just like interacting with each other was one of the best moments of my life. I looked like he was having a blast, to be honest.
Was
Well, I talked to them and I told them that same kind of thing that like you guys you really love this guy too, right? Huh? You really look up to him, don't you? And he goes, "This guy right here?" He's like, and then he looked over at Benny and he goes, "Oh, you must think you're the Burger King, huh, pal?" And I was just dying. These guys, they're like, "No, he's just another guy. He's a friend of ours." But you guys mesh well, man. You're all just clowns. You just troll people. You're just all trolls, and it's in the funniest way. I mean, it's a great group of guys.
That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
there's the picture of me lying across from them is awesome.
How did that even happen? How did that
Somebody,
transpire?
somebody just mentioned it, and I had a few. So like once I heard it, it was
So
a
when Bob has a
no-brainer.
few, he's willing to put his body on the line, whether it's crowd surfing or
Yeah.
laying out on photos. I mean, this guy,
Bob can give you
unbelievable.
he'll give you a good 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Give you a hard, fun, wild 90 minutes when he gets banged up. We got a very active Airbnb in the mornings. Between Bob getting up early always and Joe wakes up like Joe, you're the same guy at 7 a.m. as you are at like 2 p.m. Like you wake up and there's no like easing into the day. You are fucking up and you're fucking going.
Yes,
I
sometimes
respect. I mean, look, I wish I was that way.
those car rides, I'm ready to give everything I got, and I got to just kind of sit there like sedated because everybody else is just a little bit, just not at that level yet. Sometimes I kind of feel like it's tough. It's tough. I'm ready to go. The second I get up, I'm ready to get after. I'm ready to go.
FP, this is totally random, but what was the name of the sandwich spot? Because I'm hitting it right after this.
Podbelly?
Jupiter.
That was Antonio's.
Oh, Antonio's.
Wow, man.
I'll send you the
But apparently FP sandwich was not good. The other one was.
That's what I'm
Ours
hearing.
was good. The one that
Yeah,
Bob and I got was pretty good.
It was late in the day. I'll make some excuses for them, or at least I think I will. I got the wrong bread too. I told her.
I
what
mean, you don't owe Antonio any excuses. If it wasn't good, you could say it wasn't good. I mean, apparently the ticket and Bob sandwich was good. Maybe they just missed the mark on the third. 2 out of 3 is pretty good, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to bury them. It's because like everything else that was not only was it good, it sounded like it was very very good. Sometimes you swing and you miss.
Did you try
brass
that
ring,
tuna
that's-
salad that I
It's
left?
good. That's sitting in my fridge.
There's no way you don't eat. You eat tuna salad, Stu?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Ticket
I
left
left
it
it by
at my
accident.
house.
So
I should
Ticket,
have brought it to you. I'm not
Let
going to
me-
eat that shit.
let me understand something. So you got the chicken cutlet sub and a side of tuna salad?
Well, the tuna salad was
chips,
supposed
probably.
to be and I got chips, yeah, and then pizza pudding chips, and then I just left the tuna salad, which I was going to have later on with something else I was going to make here, and it was pretty upsetting. It was $7 tuna salad. I mean, that's not nothing.
Gotcha.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
I should have brought it
it's
to you,
high-end.
Bob. I was never going to eat that.
I would have definitely tried it. Yeah, for sure. I get
Bob, would you rather do tuna salad or chicken salad?
It depends what I'm feeling. A place that really does a good tuna salad, well, I'd go tuna salad, but the safer play I think is chicken salad.
Where does
I would agree
egg
with that.
salad fall into that?
Different realm. Below
I
it,
don't
but I
mind.
still would I would still eat it.
Pasta salad. Where's pasta?
Oh, pasta
Yeah.
salad is sensational.
Oh yeah.
Pasta.
A little
Pasta
fusilli pasta salad goes a long way.
Makes a good pasta salad is that place in Virginia that we went to.
Oh, we're talking about the River Market.
Yes,
Oh,
that's you want to talk good pasta salad. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a special spot.
Just send your wife in and
Correct.
or any female and
That guy didn't have a single solitary moment for us. He
No,
could have cared fucking less.
In there, I've gotten stuff from that place 100 times probably. That is the second time I've ever been in there because you just don't do that. The wives go because unfortunately that's not like a feminine thing. The guy that owns the place is a notorious scumbag, and
Wow.
I'm glad you said it because I was thinking it.
scumbag. That's not the right. This is tough because I know the guy's grandson pretty well, so I'm like I'm treading on water here. He likes women, and he charges less money and gives a little extra like sides and stuff to chicks where guys get nothing. So
Hey, you might as
play
well play your hand that you're
you play
dealt.
the game.
Yeah, one of the low key. I've said it, but meals of the year. It really was something about that. Something about. I mean, the fried chicken was out of this world.
Yeah, they only make that on Sundays. The chicken.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'd love to get back to the brass ring at some point. Those
Oh,
wings, man,
oh,
and like
ooh.
just the vibe. Maybe we do that
How
post
about
game, maybe post game Friday, and we just bring the guys in there and just fucking slam some beers.
Right before we head over to Miami.
what are we
No,
doing?
well, let's just relax on the Miami thing. Yes, but yeah, I don't know. That place is so good. Low key, one of the better wings I've had in a long
It's
time,
great.
and just they have a huge menu. It looks like everything that I've tried there is actually really solid.
You know what, Joe? I'm all in on the brass ring wing. Everybody, every time I post the brass ring, everybody says you got to go to Thirsty Turtle for their wings. Their wings are better. I got them off Postmates. They're neck and neck.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thirsty
it's
neck and neck
really good.
Postmates too. You got to
Yeah, the Postmates
you
Yeah.
got
thing's
to
a big
It
one.
traveled well.
too, right? Like a live wing in person.
Yep, traveled great. They really did. It was awesome. Um, all right. Now we could do another. We kind of did this last week. I'm all for it again. I enjoy the Q&A segment. We could do a nice long Q&A segment, Poppy, if you have some good juice for us.
I do have some good juice for us, but I feel like we also haven't talked about Minwoo Lee. I didn't know if we want to touch on that at all, or if we want to just skip it. We
Sure.
can go into this.
Great video, by the way. The Men Willie. That was a long coveted guest for us.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun connecting with him, and I think the funny thing was what it was mentioned in the video is that when we used to always go to Riviera, and we would always post up right after that third hole or second hole before they go to three, and they always walk by because they're going to the driving range, and Bob used to heckle back in the day right at that spot, and I remember that we went with him. And this was probably early on when Minwoo was like first on the tour, because this was years ago. He walked by and Bob was talking, and he just like stopped and looked over, and he just was like, "Oh, y'all the guy," because I guess he recognized his voice, but he had no idea what Bob looked like. So it was kind of cool to see it like, full 180, like after all of that, like we were back connected. He still remembered that. But super chill guy, super fun. We would have loved to get him. It would have been nice if we could play a whole round with him just to see a little bit more, because some of his shots and his shape and what he's able to do out there is pretty. Dude, it's pretty nasty. And I say this sometimes, like every time we get out with like a pro, I'm always taken aback when you're on a tee box and you watch them hit like a drive or like a chip or like some of the things that they're able to do so effortlessly. It's just unbelievable. He was a great guy. I thought the style of video too that we filmed was awesome because we had never done anything like that before, and I think that it turned out to be really cool.
Yeah, I think the format, the reason that we didn't just do 18 holes with Manu Willie is it was a Callaway shoot and we only got him for a certain time. But I think considering all of that, I think that, yeah, I agree that the style of the video was different and cool. And now we're kind of in a point where we've done so many videos that we're trying to get creative and think of different things that we can do. Some of the ones that the fans like, we run back, but I do think we've done a really good job just in general of different videos. We've given a lot of stroke play recently, more stroke play coming, which people asked for and they got. So I think we've done a good job of getting creative with it.
Yeah, anything we can do I mean, we say it all the time between us, but golf is kind of a finite game as far as how it's played and the kind of manner and formats that you can get it done in. And I think for a long time we had a lot of fun doing 3-man scrambles because we're on the same team. We can really get the vibes up. We can go for birdies. We can try to go low, but totally understand how that can get probably a little bit stale. So we've really, I can't remember the last time we did a 3-man scramble, and we're going to try to stay away from that stuff. But that's probably our, I wouldn't say our biggest challenge, because it's actually kind of fun to sit down and talk these things out. But golf gives you a certain sandbox to play in, and we trying to kind of get creative in different styles of videos, guests help, but just how can we do alternate shot? How can we do stroke play? How can we do all these things a little bit differently? And the longer we do this, the harder that stuff's going to become. But again, those conversations at Airbnbs on trips, it's fun. Like we have a lot of really cool ideas that come up. We have a lot of shitty ideas that we make fun of each other for. That's always a fun like process. I think.
I
At
will
least I feel
say
that.
too, like we've gotten some good recommendations of video ideas from like people who watch us. So like if you guys see something or if you think of a format that might be cool that you'd like to see us try, I mean, listen, we go through it because as FP said, we want to continue to like become a little bit more versatile in what we do. Obviously, the challenge videos, no one else out there is doing it, and it's really cool now that like I was with Grant the other day, and he's like, "I want to do a challenge video with you," and like I think stuff like that is starting to catch on. But like, if you guys have an idea of something that you want to see or hear, or like something that could be cool, like just shoot it in the comments, man. We look through it. We're always looking at ways to continue to come up with new fun ways of entertaining, being entertaining, especially when we're not the greatest golfers on top of all of that.
One I
Yeah.
really want to do that it's going to require us to like have a golf course open to us and like maybe on a Monday when no one else is there. But I really want to do, and it is a 3-man scramble, but it's a little different. Like we have to birdie all 18 holes. Like you have to birdie a hole before you can go to the next hole. Like I really want to do that like as a 3-man scramble, and like we can't leave the first hole until we get a birdie. We can't leave and to get through
Man.
all 18 holes with 18 birdies between the three of us. I mean, we've done that like 1800 challenge where we just keep playing and playing and playing. Which is grueling. So this is like that on like a whole different level. I think that
Could be a long day for the pop.
Take all day.
Oh man, it would. We were at the Ticket Wrap dinner last night. We were talking about that of how good that would be. But you're right; it would have to be a course where they'd be willing to just kind of let us roll, or they don't have much going on because that would be a long. Even if we play great, say we're all playing really good, that still would be a long day.
I think it would be, in theory, it would be a little bit easier than just like getting to 18 under, only because we're playing the same hole repeatedly. And in theory, like it should be a little easier every time you do it because it's the same thing again. Whereas like when you're circling, you're not getting that like repetition. Like a par 3, like if we're coming back to a par 3, we may never birdie it. But if we're sitting there and just hitting shot after shot, eventually we're going to hit one tight just because that's all we're doing.
What happens if we play a par 3 and on the third time of playing it, we get a hole in one?
That's fine.
We quit and we
But would that count as a hole in one?
Birdie or better for sure. That would be a.
No, he's saying. I think Joe, you're saying that. Does that count as a hole in one?
That's what I'm saying. If you're playing the hole multiple times, that's tough, man.
The point is, you got to ask the question. So,
Yep.
I mean,
I'm just wondering because what would we do? I'm like, obviously that would be sensational. I would love that to happen, but like, could you count that as a hole in one? Say you're playing a hole and you're technically it's your first shot the next time you played the hole, but like you've played the hole multiple times. That's an interesting question. I'd love to know.
My hole in one at Breezy Chicago hole in one. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's essentially the exact same thing. I played the same hole over and over and over again.
I think it's tougher because, I mean, not to forget the hole in one. There's some holes on these courses that are like ungettable. Like you get like a 480-yard par 4. It's like you got to play that till you birdie it. Like
you have to be strategic. You'd have to have like you'd maybe bob lay up like up the fairway, and then I try to hit like a wild shot, which is probably not going to happen. Try to get on the green or FP, and like you have to play it smart to the point where like you give yourself multiple chances, maybe.
But in the other challenge, if you don't birdie the hole, you just move on with your life.
Yeah.
In this one, you got to come. It would take like 6-7 times or more on some of them.
Especially if there's like a 210-yard par 3 or like something like that.
Oh yeah.
For the record, I think it's a great idea. I think we should do it. It would be a 5-hour video.
We just got to build out a course.
Yeah.
Maybe Augusta will let do it. Let us do it.
I feel like you could I mean, I don't know. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I have too many production recommendations. I'm gonna shut.
No, I'd love to hear it.
I didn't know. Where is he going with that?
Maybe if it's like we do a tournament,
play a hole like 6 times, right? Then you just do some little like montage of shitty golf in between, where you would like up 3 or 4 of them like into like a quick thing, Anyway, I don't know how to do that, So all I'm doing is talking and talking. And
Well, I like the
I'm going
long
to take
version.
this to the
I
next
want to
class.
do the long version.
I
It'll just
gotta
take me.
say, the editing, the last video, I told Bob today, I was very impressed. The little fireball, little logos every time we got a birdie, and then how about that little screen on the bottom right showing Minwoo Lee coming up shortly? That
Yeah, that was
was
fun.
a nice little ride. That
Well,
one.
that was yeah. I stuck in it at the last. First of all, the Fireball stuff Jensen made, but that's with our partnership with the fine folks over at Fireball.
Oh,
And then that Minwoo thing was I knew we were going to get people who are like, "Where's Minwoo?" Like because it starts with Josh Kelly and it starts with whatever. So
That
just
was a nice
find the
touch.
people that
nice
they're,
touch.
coming out.
Super nice touch.
For everybody at home, don't get used to the fucking ball in the air tracking. Which, by the
I
way,
Oh
haven't
my
caught
God,
that.
Yeah.
that
that
was
he does.
amazing. I thought
That
Pop
guy
was
was
on
good at what he
steroids.
does.
That guy was
You'll
really
never see
incredible.
that again.
I have his email. I think I don't know where he's located, but we should just if he's
Oh, you
around,
mean
use
Looper?
him everyone.
Is
No,
he,
That guy's
Dave,
incredible.
Dave Evans, Everson or
Evanston.
something. Or Everson.
Evanston.
I did. We got to find out where he lives if we're ever in that area and just use him again.
All right,
That was
boys.
cool.
Let's head on over to our Q&A segment brought to you by the Par 3 Pop.
All right, question 1 comes from Jake Myers.7. Give me top 3 Bojangles menu items.
Is that Bowberry biscuit going to make the cut there, Stu?
Man, it's a nice offering.
It's a great
There you
question.
go. Chicken without a question is.
I gotta. I like Cajun filet biscuits. Definitely in the top
Biscuit,
3.
yeah.
Probably number 1 for me. I'll do like Cajun filet / normal biscuit. I think the French fries are fucking great.
Oh
with
yeah.
seasoning. And then I mean, look, I'm simple, so I only like 3 things. But yeah, give me that Bowberry biscuit at 3. That'd be great.
I'm gonna
This-
throw in the bow rounds or whatever
rounds.
those
That's
are
good.
Special.
very good.
Yeah, their sides. I mean, their sides is just it's unbelievable. The chicken, obviously, the mac and cheese. Those fries are great. I love the rice and beans.
The green beans
Man.
were so. I mean, everything's
Green
good.
beans are good. There's nothing. I haven't had anything. So if you did the side by side of KFC sides and Bojangles side, you would laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except week
Although-
1 of the NFL season. Except
Although
week 1 of the
the
NFL season.
KFC gravy is pretty special.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
the
yeah, it's
gravy
pretty
is
good.
pretty
If you
sensational.
do KFC,
If
you
you're
gotta
having-
do the family feast.
Yeah, and if you're
Yeah.
having KFC, you lubricate everything in that gravy. Takes
Correct.
right. You go
That's
French
right.
fries, you go chicken. I'll even go biscuit. You throw everything in that gravy.
Mhm.
That gravy
Yeah.
makes everything better.
they really fucked up when they took the
The
they took
bowl out.
that bowl that
Yeah.
mashed potato bowl
Was that good?
It was
with
Oh,
the
it was
great.
popcorn
incredible.
chicken and the corn and the gravy, the cheese.
I
There's
never
really
tried
no
that.
reason to ever get rid of that. They have all of those things. It's just put them together, you know.
Yeah, say what
Hey,
you want about KFC. They got some good marketing.
The chicken that they just came out, they came without the chicken pizza. Looks ridiculous. By
The
the
cheese.
way, I'll try it.
Cheese.
They
cheese.
came out.
Yeah.
They came out with that sandwich that was 2
Yeah.
chicken patties that had like lettuce and tomato in the middle of it, and tried to call it. It was just like they come up with things that are just
The double down was the wildest. We talked about it yesterday.
yeah. You got to think the rest of the world sees these things come out from KFC and are like, wow, America really is fat as fuck.
Yeah, that when
Even
they did
you're
it-
like, no, like that's fat. Like even
Hold my
for us-
beer.
Oh man, great question though. Whoever that had come from, Pop, you let it rip.
Okay, the next question comes from Ben Stevens 9. Why didn't the single guys move in together? Which I guess would be me, you, and Jet.
I don't think we would live together. We see each other enough as is that I think we all need our space.
Who asked
to a degree.
that question? Who asked that
Uh,
question, Tick?
Ben Stevens 9.
Does he live with all of his single friends?
Wow.
Oh, he upset.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I'm in
God.
love
Someone
here.
upset the Jet.
I'm
Whoa!
saying, what kind of
Wow.
question is
Wow.
that?
Jet wanted to live in his privacy of his gated community.
Yeah, and it's
What
gated,
kind of?
all
I
right,
just
man.
think that's just it's just and maybe they're saying because me and the Tick were talking about possibly living together.
Could have been. Could have
But
been.
I think that's
I
I
think
think
of
that-
all the combinations, I think the three of us would do okay together. But
I do too.
we just want our own. We're 31, man.
Yeah.
Let's just get our own space.
Right out of college, it sounds like a
Sure.
good idea. Everybody can save a little money, get a bigger place, and yeah, it's that ship has sailed.
Yeah, I mean, we already practically did live together for a
Sure.
period of time. So
I lived with Ticket too for a period of time.
sure did.
That's
Even
right.
Stubby. All right,
We
Bob,
got-
keep it flowing.
All right, the next one comes from Jeremy Haggerty. Favorite alcoholic beverage and favorite meal you've had since starting the show?
I could start us off. I mean, it came. Favorite alcoholic beverage is anything tequila. I had a frozen transfusion, which FP told me is like a normal or a common thing. I had never had it at the park in Jupiter. I thought it was fucking amazing. And then my favorite Bob Does Sports meal was probably the fried chicken. Yeah.
We've had a good few meals. I'll go favorite drink is espresso martini. And then, or is it on the golf course or just in general?
I wonder if it's like he means like that we've like experienced, like
Yeah,
like a
probably.
drink in a video or a drink from a place we were.
Huh.
trying to think. I'm drink wise.
Maybe the green tea shots that we were introduced to, those were
Yeah.
freaking
Those
good.
are really
Yeah.
great.
And then I would go. I actually gotta go. I think I think it happened so long ago that we don't give it enough love. That Scottsdale meal, that BFP and Bob, that steakhouse we went to
Trust
was
me, we've given it enough love. We have.
unbelievable. That was I don't remember what that steakhouse was called. And then I'll go a close secondary is just the Grimaldi's with the boys. I think that's tough to beat, man.
Grimaldi's he travels well anytime. Mignon's had it the other day. It was unbelievable.
Okay. Next question comes from Wine Skippyton. Wine Skippyton. What are y'all's favorite Adam Sandler movies? Top 5.
Happy Gilmore for sure.
Really
Big Daddy.
Billy Madison,
Daddy's
Big Daddy's
good.
great. Uncut Gems can make the cut.
Hustle was awesome
It
too.
was good. I haven't seen Uncut Gems yet.
You haven't seen Uncut Gems?
Must watch.
Oh no.
That's like it's like watching Jet. It's like watching a day in the life of
Must
Jet.
watch, dude.
If Jet was a jeweler.
It's the best.
I love
It's,
that.
it's got the
that
Jewish background, so it's right there.
I love
the
that
best.
fucking watch flipping shit. Diamond.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Yes.
so up your
I
alley,
love it.
Stubby. It's so up your alley.
We did we did on the Brilliantly Dumb Show top 5 movies snake draft and top 5 sports movies snake draft. I think I'm gonna end up winning it, Joe. I was off to a hot start with it. There's still time in it.
But we haven't put out the poll yet.
Yeah, they have both sides.
What? Today did they put the
yeah.
poll out? I didn't
Yeah.
see it.
I had Sandlot 1, Miracle 2, Rocky 4. Was it with Drago, Rudy, and then Moneyball?
Who had the first pick?
I did.
What was
I went with Remembering the Titans.
Remember
Remember the Titans. I had Field of Dreams. I had Coach Carter. I had what was the other one I had? Hold on, I have it written down. I think.
Coach Carter's a great movie.
Great one.
Pretty wild that Mikey V was the only one with like a golf movie with Happy Gilmore.
I know it was a good pick too.
Well, the way that it goes though is if you miss out. I had Friday Night Lights, and then I had Rookie of the Year as well.
Friday Night Lights. It's a movie.
Yeah,
You've never
Yes.
seen Friday Night Lights the movie?
No,
it's awesome.
But it's not when you. I think Friday Night Lights. I don't think of the movie.
The
Should I
movie's
be TV
awesome.
Oh,
Oh, it's amazing. The movie's unbelievable.
Michael B. Jordan. I
Inky
do
Mind.
love. I do love Moneyball. Best soundtrack of any movie ever,
Moneyball's good.
in my opinion.
I'm just a little bit caught in the
In the
middle.
Everything
middle.
but that song. Everything but
No,
that
that's a
song.
beautiful
Love
song.
is a it's a
Oh,
great song.
when
I'm
at
trying
the
to,
end,
you
when
can't
they
be
hit,
afraid to get
that's not
sentimental.
stop
You
that.
can't
No,
be afraid to get emotional.
that's not part of the soundtrack. That's a girl singing. The soundtrack is the music they're playing in the background throughout the movie, and it's the best soundtrack ever.
I think that would be considered part of the soundtrack.
Oh, I disagree, Gary.
How could that not be part? That's what the
You're gonna,
movie.
you're
The
gonna
movie
kick this little
closes
girl
on.
out of the CD.
You can't kick the girl out.
No, I'm saying the soundtrack is what you bring fucking Hans Zimmer in to fucking do.
No, that's a score.
That's a
That's
so
score.
it's a score. So what is sound? So the soundtrack just talking then?
Soundtrack is any songs that you use that's licensed music that wasn't made for the movie.
So then I don't know if it's a soundtrack or a score. Then but I think it's the soundtrack. Then is the best. At the end when they're doing that whole thing. I don't want to say spoiler alert, but everybody's seen Moneyball. When they hit the fucking when Chris Pratt hits that home run,
Oh, Hatterberg.
The
when
music?
Hatterberg smacks
when
that home
Hatterberg
run.
hits the home run,
Yeah.
it's the best.
He'll
the
never
best
play
on
first base
TV.
for me. My team, I make the lineup.
Yeah. Billy,
All right.
this is Doug Baldwin. He's a
Bob.
reliever. He plays on the Pistons. He has an 8 ERA, but on our team, he's going to do well.
Let's do one more.
Okay, last question comes from H. Janny 22. What was everyone's order at Carbone? What was the Carbone order?
So, D, you want to take that away?
Or a lot of the times when we go out for dinner as a group, we decide that we're going to do like a family style meal, and then a lot of the times Bob will suggest that I do the ordering. So we ordered collectively as a group. I think we did multiple courses. So we started out with like some kind of baked oysters, which were quite good, and we did a Caesar salad table side. We had a couple dishes brought out as well. We did a roasted red peppers and mozzarella that was cut table side. And then we did a pasta course, which was their spicy rigatoni, a la vodka with a meatball each. And then we did a a veal parm, I believe. We did a pork chop. And then we did, what was the fish that we did again? Was it turbo? No, it wasn't turbo. It was
Turbo Mom.
no, it wasn't turbo. It was, I forget what the fish was, but we did a white fish, which was delicious. And then we did sides, and they brought a bunch of stuff out, desserts. FP did meatballs, and he had a little bit of a conundrum with the pasta order. It was a back and forth with the server, which was a little tough. But I think you ended up getting what you wanted, essentially, which was like a bolognese with meatballs, no cheese. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was some sort of just rigatoni and red sauce. It's probably not. I should have just gone with like a chicken parm. Made the whole world just a lot easier. That guy was running around for one plate. I felt terrible. He brought out a bolognese for me, along with you guys all getting a spicy rigatoni when you got your portions, and I thought he gave me a portion of that, which I wasn't going to have. So they took my plate and just put a little bit onto everyone else's plate. And then I'm like sitting there with nothing. And he comes back and he's like, "What happened to your pasta?" Which, I mean, surely I could have eaten it by then. But
They brought you out another one.
it was a big problem.
Dover
I don't
sole.
think
That
they
was the
will.
fish we
I'm
had.
not
Dover
sure.
sole.
Hopefully they'll let me back in there.
Oh, of course we will. Of course.
All right,
course.
well, boys, a lot to look forward to. Again, we are playing with Full Send this week. Who knows when that episode will be out, but we'll be playing with the Nelk Boys this week. Keep your eyes peeled. Spring Drop is out. BreezyGolf.com. A bunch of different polos, designs, sweatshirts, the whole 9 yards. It's off to a terrific start, and that is because of you, folks. We love you. We appreciate you. That has been another edition of the Bob Does Sports Podcast. Take care.